No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This was the POC. I apologize. This was the level that we said if you lose this, you go to 25 POC, and if not, then most likely you're going to this zone here. You're right. I apologize. Correct. Sorry. I read this as POC, and maybe that's why I said it. Thank you. Okay. Does everybody see why is this zone fairly important on like right here?
Basically, the bottom of the upper distribution.
Right. And then if you look here, I would pay attention to kind of what happened right here, right? And if you pay attention to that, we had a little bit of volume here. And what happened from this zone here? They ultimately said, we want the price to go lower. And then they said, nope, we want to go above. Then they're not able to hold the zone. You see them rejecting the zone. They went lower. Then a lot of chop. We go above. Then we tried to hold it here, slice below. It came back, lost, gap down. It seems to be a pretty sticky zone in terms of just support and resistance. And you can see some distributions being built around it. But now I'm just going to move this for a second. So pay attention to this value area high here of this week. Pay attention to that. And then you can pay attention to the developing one. And then pay attention to the one that they want to get in, right? The green one right here where they want to get in. They want to get in above here. If they do, then most likely they're going to hit the 68.90 like weekly VPOC right here, 6989, and then ultimately probably go in this area and then target value area high. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to escape out of this value right here. Basically, they're trying to get out of here so they can go in a penthouse and start trading. And especially if they kind of clear this 73 area, I think it's really, really high odds that at least we get the VPOC and then ultimately the value area high. At that point, I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of go for all-time high and see if they can trap some folks. So for tomorrow, if you had to make a level that's do or die for you, if you're a bull, what is that?
It's that damn level there.
Say it again. Which one?
Stay above 73.
Above 73, if you are able to do that, let's say we open above that, that's a good retest long, and that would mean that it's, opening above the range. And then that point, what's the key level you're watching for? If we open above this level tomorrow, you open above this tomorrow, what's the level that's key?
$7K?
Most important level would be that you don't go below the PDH when you open above it, that you don't lose it,
Okay.
especially because it's the zone. We have 4 opening types. Do you guys remember those? But right above the range, that's bullish or bearish. Then you can open below the range, but above the value area high. You can open inside the value, right? And then each one of those has acceptance and rejection criteria. If you open above it, you're watching for this value area high and this zone being critical, which is also the gap. And now when you look at it on 30 minutes, right, charts or daily TPOs, you can clearly see that this is the penthouse, right? This is the final zone that they're trying to get back in. The tariff news and all that bullshit that was announced lately just fluff, right? I don't think they're showing all the cards what's potentially could be happening soon, like Middle East and all that. I think they're trying to calm it down with all the leaders being in Switzerland. But I think as soon as people come back, I would expect some fireworks to start back up. And do you really think all that Greenland bullshit is over, that they're just going to give up the country and sell it? I doubt it. And then if that's the case, what happens to the tariffs?
Back again.
do the whole cycle. So today's profile, remember we talked about the profile when you have almost like a nicely curved profile like this one here, and you close at the extreme. What does that mean?
Bullish. I mean bearish, sorry.
It depends which extreme, right? So in case what I mean extreme is just the value area high or value area low. If you close above here on the neutral day, that's bullish neutral. Most likely you're going to get a continuation up. When you close at the bottom of a bolt like a neutral profile like this, very high chance you're going to be, continuing down. We had the gap down. I don't know what you want to make up, of the Wednesday's profile. Not like what it just looks like shit. I mean, I don't know. Right? It has too much time up here. They have built a ledge somewhere around here, which is pretty nasty in this area, about 69.10. Pretty wide value area Wednesday. So if they're to lose, let's say this 4-month standard deviation, it has a really, really good opportunity to flush. But now on this day, what do you notice? How big is the range today?
I mean, just reasonable, normal.
So our IB today was, I believe, 29 or 19. 39. So that whole range today was set when? Let me show you this.
A period.
It was just set pretty much in your IB. What do we say about when majority of your balance is set inside the IB? What does it say about that type of day?
Normal day.
Yeah, normal. T-shape.
And
No other time.
if you peak above initial balance and you lose that, what should you do?
Take to go to
Take
the
the
other
target.
side.
Probably is the easiest short you could have, right? If something like this happened, right? So you have A and B period setting a pretty wide range, and you auction above it, and you struggle, right? You see the G and H have a exhaustion a little bit happening, and you shifted the POC up, and then once K period came in here, or even I period, once they're able to put new lower low, K period really confirmed it, and they just continued putting lower lows, right? I mean, they almost had what towards the end of the day.
Almost had a spike, I guess.
Almost at a spike, where your last period pretty much reversed all of your initial balance, right? And you closed where?
Below
This is
value area low.
neutral. You closed on the extreme of the
Alright.
value area low, which would indicate what?
The bears are coming.
Bearish
Could be a
extreme.
chance tomorrow that we're a bearish extreme, and then we have a really good continuation that we're just gonna maybe sell off. So if you think about it, right, let's see where we are right now. We'll just mark this spot for a moment. Turn on the VWAP. So surprise, we rejected the 57 level. So for me, if I want to play tomorrow, and let's say I want to catch 10 or 20 points, if we open above this level tomorrow, like right here, we open above it, I would target this right here for a long. Does that make sense? As soon as I close this long, what should I look for?
Peak above and fail.
I want to see if we try to get inside here and get access. Selling tail. If you get selling tail and this gives up, this can be really nice trade, like somewhere like here. It would be really, really nice to see that. And then if you lose that, ultimately you're looking to go here. That makes sense. So I would pay attention to this level and treat today's IB as your most critical, like between this 55 and 57. Not a lot of points, I would say, in between. But I would say that zone is going to be fairly important for you guys tomorrow. Obviously today they failed with, IB that they couldn't go above it, but I would look to see what they do here at 57, and it happens to be a POC. You have the IBH almost at the high of the day with a nice hammer candle built, sold down. See how they do here. If they go above it, they'll most likely clean up the poor high. I would say a very high chance you can catch this 57 to here, and I would expect this to be literally angled like this. It's going to be a single candle that cracks it, and then you're looking to see, can they give us access here? Can they peek inside the zone and then give us single prints so we can take it down potentially? Does that make sense?
Where did you get that 57 level from?
This was from the zone that we had drawn, if you remember, from this profile when we discussed the single prints here and how I divided it and how many
Yeah,
times we
okay. I thought it
struggled.
was I thought it was a level from today. Okay, I still have that
No, no,
level
no.
on my screen, but I just wanted to make sure. Okay, that's
Yeah,
good. Thanks.
Yep. It was this P shape that we had, if you remember, right here, and we said, this is going to be probably problematic, right, for everyone. They struggled above it. They rejected this area quite a bit, and then we put that level there as a carry forward level. So I would keep this one on. Just be aware that if you clear this and you go above and you see quick reaction tomorrow, and they want to sell it, most likely it will be sold. If they clear 73, and like let's say by 10:30 they clear 73, do not short. There's no reason to short if they're able to do that. But this close today is very interesting. There's one more point on it, and I just want to make sure you guys see it. So we had the open lower close. You had the open higher close. Today you had the open and what?
Lower close.
Close.
And you closed within
Mm,
what?
Previous day
Previous day
range.
range.
Yep.
So you try to shift the value. That's what was attempted today. If you remember those three things that we talked about, the performance, we tried to shift the value today higher. We still did, but we did not completely agree that we are ready to go above yet, right? So you can even, use this 45 as a gauge. If we open on the bottom, let's say you open here and you reclaim this level with the monthly VWAP right here, this would be a pretty good long here. But that's only true if we open below it, reclaim it, and then you could target this 4 high. Does that make sense? Confused?
Yeah.
You want us to stay open here below and quickly reclaim it above, then look for a long above, retest, and then target the 4 high. That would be quite a few points. You could make a decent chunk of money right here. Right here. I mean, that's 23 points. I'll take that any day. Any questions on ES and the game plan for tomorrow? So we have some stocks that we have earnings on. One of them is our famous Intel. These are all the levels, just to kind of refresh everybody's memory, right? This was the area, right, that we were trying to add right here, peak belows and fails. We would add any area in this, and I think a lot of members also added Intel here. Since then, obviously, we've had a lot of news, some of the stuff that we anticipated to happen, government stepping in, Intel being treated more like a security asset, if you want to call it that. And then these were the levels that we were targeting, right? We talked about 34, then you go above, you had 43, you go above this, you had 49, sell some calls, sell a shitload of calls here, and then let the earnings, kind of do the rest of it for you. And tomorrow I get to cash in, right, on some, if it opens and closes below 50 tomorrow, I'm gonna make almost about $18,000 just off of the options, which protects my earnings, right, on the shares as well. And if I'm not assigned, I don't have to kind of lose those shares, right? So that's the strategy that we talked about a couple of days back, right? What is it that we do? So that's kind of what I'm doing to protect myself. If I would have gotten assigned, I think it was almost 7,000 shares. I would have given away, but I got to keep the premium. So sell the shares at 50, right? I had the 50 calls for this week, and then basically I would get assigned, sell them at 50. I'll keep the rest, but I get to keep the premium that I sold. Does that make sense? I don't know. Has anyone not done covered calls and is confused?
How
You
does that
said-
work with your gains? As far like when you sell it in that sense.
So think about
Uh,
this. My average for shares.
So you sell
is-
it for 50 your share and you get the premium on top?
So here, let me explain you the whole concept. And I have 53,000 shares and some change. Let's just put 53. So, and I had 7,000 shares dedicated to covered calls. So how many covered calls is that?
70.
70.
70. 100 per?
Does everybody understand how we got that?
Yes.
It's divided by 100 shares equals 70 option contracts. Okay. So what I'm saying, what do you mean when you sell a covered position, right? Is you're giving somebody an ability. Let me type this out and see if it makes sense. Does this make sense? What does assigned mean, right?
And you got to execute. So all 7,000 shares are sold for like $50 per share.
Does this make sense? Why is it not doing the right? Does this make sense? Is anyone confused?
No, I got it.
So basically, what I'm doing here is, and I think my average I can check. I think it was somewhere around two something. I think 244 or 46. Let's say 24. And basically, if you time this 70, right? What do you get? Almost like 15K, right?
Yeah.
So 15K, if I got assigned, my P&L would be something like this. I would say, my 7,000 shares equals amount, let's say this, minus, the amount of 50 times 7,000 shares equals this amount here. That would be profit on my shares. Even though, let's say if the price at this time was at 54, I can't get that profit of $4.74 for the shares is because I gave the right to somebody else to buy my shares at 50. I can't keep that profit. So basically let's just assume 54.74 was closing price on Friday. And I'm just saying if this was to happen. Right? And my strike is 50, right? So if I didn't sell any calls, I mean I could have made 474 times 7,000, right? can't see my keyboard well. I could have made this. Is that fair? Just the difference between the 50, the strike. I would have made that much extra on my shares. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I won't get that if I'm assigned. If it closes at this price, I don't get this, right? It's basically, I'm going to sell it at 50. The other option here would play out for me. You would sell this right here, profit on shares. I would give them this minus my cost right here plus commissions. Let's not confuse everyone. You would get that profit, and then you would also get what? Premium you collected, right? Which is $15,000. So why would I do that, right? Well, I did it because let's just be normal. Let's pretend that this market is normal. You're telling me that in past, what is this? Let's just say from December 24th, in the month, you ran 60%. Am I happy that this happened? Of course, guys. I'm super happy, right? My account's happy. Everyone's happy. My wife was more happier than I was. But thinking as an investor, right? I got to start protecting my money, right? I got to start doing, and I wanted to do more than this, right? But I'm still bullish on Intel. I'm not bearish on Intel by no means, actually, still. I don't think they're selling yet, but this was a pretty big offload today. If you think about, the volume, 2 hours, when you look at it tomorrow, there's still opportunities to add Intel, right? For people that were maybe not in it, where would that opportunity be?
34-ish.
I think, we have a this here is their ultimate zone that they're going to defend. If you want to find really, really, really good opportunity to add, take a look at this. Wherever that falls, that 37 level comes. If this is to come here, this is your opportunity to load up. You can definitely go here at 46, but you better be ready to eat this drawdown here. Does that make sense? What could you do with options? If the price comes here, what could you do with options to collect some premium, but yet maybe buy some shares? If you're like, man, maybe I try to do something here. What is it that you can do here to collect premium? So maybe if price goes here, that you end up buying it.
Sell puts?
Yeah. So it's kind of, a trick, right? If I sell puts here, right, and I sell, let's say, 38, I'm just throwing it. Well, if the price comes to, let's say, below it and you kind of get assigned, then you have to have enough cash to buy that many contracts, right? Each contract 100 shares. You buy 10, you're just going to buy 1,000 shares. So that's another way for you to kind of acquire shares, especially in companies that, here, if you sold a lot of puts here, you're a pretty smart man, right? You first got to collect premium. Let's say you sold 16s, and if you get assigned, but if you don't get assigned, you get to keep all of that. Just the opposite of what I talked about now. And then you're kind of headed higher. So hopefully that makes sense. Is anyone in EMPH? Tom, I think if you're on, I think you're on. I know for sure you got in, right?
Yeah, I have common and leaps.
I'm up nicely on this, right? I started buying some, and I have some leaps as well. If this is about to play out, you want to let this run to somewhere around here, 87 to about, I think it was 94, 96 zone. This is our target, and I'm going to let it go over there. I have no emotions with the stock or anything. As soon as it comes to this zone, sell it, or, sell a bunch of 100 calls and get assigned. I know people think getting assigned is a bad thing, but it's actually a thing that you have to learn to let go of your profits and collect money. because money in your account, like in the air like that, is not your money. Because things can quickly go reverse. You have to learn how to take profits. You can always go higher, but it can also go lower. And
Did you see anything for the move today? I mean, CD raised whatever, target price was 37, but that was it.
I think there's going to be news coming with BlackRock soon. Maybe some other chip makers coming out with news and partnership
Yeah, okay.
for build outs of some of the facilities.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have something soon.
Yeah, 80 would be nice.
Yeah, if we hit 80, man, this would be excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my calls alone would probably net me maybe. I'm just thinking if that was to happen like before June, I think I would net close to $200,000 in my calls.
Yeah, same with me.
Yeah,
Would not mind that. Yeah.
that'd be sweet. So that's why we're waiting here. I mean, some of these like MU. I mean, it's just bananas at this point. You know, don't chase it. Not at these levels, right? Even though it'd be ideal to get some of this. TSM, we talked about this. TSM looks a little funky. If we can get a sell-off somewhere around here, like between 300 to here, man, this might not be a bad opportunity to go long here on this one, guys. Like right here, this area, I might take a little dabble. TSM, ASML. Did anyone read the book on ASML? If you haven't, and you have some free time, vacation, or whatever you use to read, really good book to read. I'll keep an eye on this one. See what happens. See Amazon. Good. Ooh.
You circle. I took a little hit.
Oh yeah. So my friends actually messaged me.
Looks like they might retest, huh?
Well, if they give us this here, if they clean this low here, that's hasn't been cleaned, like this one and that one, it might be really nice. If they give us 56, my God, that'd be nice. If they do something like here, it'd be add a lot more here. Have you guys listened to the Devos and listened to Larry from BlackRock?
Nope.
You should listen to it. It's pretty good. He said we need to switch to crypto-based currency, and it's alluding more towards this idea. And he wants to do it quick for the safety of people. So you should definitely listen to it. Another segment that was good was the Palantir CEO with Larry from BlackRock. If you guys are not listening to these, I would say there's a lot of information that gets shared in these interviews and what they're kind of doing, what they plan on doing. You just have to listen to it and maybe make some connections. They share a lot of info in these conversations. I would say look at that one. Did anyone start looking at NOG from our last stock scan? Let me see if I can bring this whole screen here.
Yeah, I added some because they give really good dividends.
I'm gonna start adding this tomorrow. So building a position in NOG. So there's something that happened here. Does everybody see what that is? This is monthly clouds. The pattern, right, that we're kind of after on stocks like this is we like when they kind of peak below these monthly clouds, right, and then they go inside. They go inside here and then they kind of dance around, and this is kind of what we're looking for right now. We are about to switch this cloud, and it's going to close on the bottom. and then we're gonna target the top. So I'm targeting between, you know, if I can get a little bit cheaper than 23, that'd be great. If not, I'll just hold it. If you're able to close this cloud here, notice what happens every time when we close the cloud elsewhere, right? Here, when the clouds close, they pushed higher every time. Cloud closed on the top, perfect rejection, perfect rejection. When the clouds closed, eventually you go to the bottom. Now you're accumulating. When this cloud switches to closed, you're flying. And you see that these runs that they have typically are pretty steep and aggressive. Like, you know, they're not taking a lot of time. Here's a little bit of compressed cloud, right? It's not as wide, but this is pretty wide. I mean, 23 to 39, it's almost, you know, 100%. So I'll take this. So I'm watching this tomorrow, and they have pretty good dividends. So keep an eye on this one. Anyone else? You guys have any questions?
Shorty, in your experience, when a company anticipates earnings, is it good or bad?
What do you mean when that anticipates? They all anticipate it.
No, they had say earnings on the 15th, and they say no, now it's going to be on the 5th.
Oh, when they shift it,
Yep,
not a good sign.
not a good sign.
Sorry?
You said not a good sign.
Not a very good sign. Was there a CFO change recently?
No,
No C levels at all?
nope. The last time they did this is that Iron Company. They announced a deal with Microsoft, $9 billion deal. 3 days
Company is
before.
it?
That one that I mentioned to you guys, Iron,
All right.
IREN.
It was very close. Be careful.
Be careful.
I'm gonna go to 65. I'm not gonna go above it.
Yeah.
It could
Yeah, I'm
be
looking for
tapped
65
tomorrow.
to 70.
Yeah, if you can hit 65 and sell a bunch of calls because the IV is gonna be super high. Are they new or no? Like how when was this like?
I mean, they used to do crypto mining, right? But they switched to built to suit data centers for AI.
This is just a fresh company, recent
Yeah.
IPO.
But the guys doing it, the C level there is pretty good. Smart guys.
Yeah, I think this is gonna come back cheaper, probably than 35. Looks like classical. Maybe somebody got. When was their period where they can sell shares, like the people that were given options? Freeze.
They have the C-suite has strikes that they can only sell above, right? So it's I think it's I don't remember the numbers, like 60, 87, 120, and 200, I think, on the options. So they're not in the money yet.
Get a sign. Okay. Yeah, I would sell at 65 if I was you. You don't have to necessarily sell a full position, right? Manage it, but 65 will be tough. I mean, if we can get a discount on this stock, we can. Like, if they can give us this test here, that'd be great. 34-ish. I'm also watching HIMS. I think I posted this a few times. it's close. I'm targeting 25.62 to get some shares here. So, does everybody know what they do?
Viagra stuff, right?
I think it's wage control.
Isn't it Viagra? I don't know.
They have those products as well, yeah, but they have a lot of stuff. No, it's kind of like a prescription for health, like wellness. They have the sexual, skin, hair care, and now they're expanding like into the makeup as well.
Yeah, so Viagra,
Like
that's the only thing that makes money. Got it.
yeah. They also have hair shampoos. I think they make money there.
Sure, sure. It's a huge line item for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with the demographics as they are in the United States, I think you might be right. One of my friends, he's not a baby boomer. I call him a baby boomer. I think he's a prime customer of him. I've seen it in his car, but I didn't say anything. I've seen the little boxes that they ship. I just looked away.
Shorty, didn't they have a pill for hair, like gain hair or whatever? People are going crazy.
Hair.
People are going
Not
crazy off of it.
Like mentally crazy or going crazy for it?
yeah. Like people are going like committing
Oh,
suicide
wow.
type stuff.
What?
Yeah, I gotta look it up. I think it was Hims or it was another company.
I gotta look this up. Sorry. Check
Let's
this.
do a subscription for Burnside and send it to his house, man.
So I will be pissed.
That'd be fun.
We should do something stupid like that. So now you just had me confused. I googled hair pill for Burnside. Anyone know if Hims has the it's kind of like a Ozempic? Did they come up with something like that or not yet?
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, I think so.
They sell GLP-1, right? But not,
Yeah.
you know, they
Yeah,
don't
they do.
produce any of that. Yeah.
If you guys look at like their revenue, I mean, it looks scary good. Almost to the point, it's like, okay, who's going to audit these guys? Where's PwC right now? It looks pretty good in terms of revenue, double digits growth, pretty much doubling more. So I'll buy some of this. I think there'll be some hype, and I won't be married to the position. If they go to 65 from this spot, you guys can have it all. I'll give it to you at 64 if you like. I will sell before we arrive to this zone. Grab here, sell there, and that'll be hella return.
Shorty, if is Apple buyable at this point?
No, no. Apple's going low. Don't touch Apple. What comes here?
What about getting some puts on it?
That's a very good idea. We talked about that, I believe, on Sunday or Monday. I forgot which day. Yeah, there was opportunity for this to go puts. We talked about this 265 level at one point, and we said you lose this, be surprised that they kind of come to this level here, kind of dance on it right and get a bounce. This level was well respected before, but if you get some puts here, let's say you're late right now and you're willing to go maybe somewhere like May, June, you could target 200 puts for Apple, and if you have shares of Apple. I don't have any more shares of Apple, but if you had shares of Apple, you could make some really good money here at these prices on stocks like this. Microsoft and Apple, they have really good liquidity and options. It'd be a good idea to look at some longer data puts here, maybe 220s or 200. I'm surprised with lack of innovation from Apple. I think they're becoming too stagnant right now in terms of what they're doing. I don't know who uses their. Did anyone upload to the like latest software with like the liquid bullshit?
Fuck that.
It is the worst thing I have ever had. I really want my iPhone 12 at this point.
Yeah, it's like glass looking or something.
I just can't. It's just annoying. Like it's stupid annoying. And here's
Yeah, it's hard to see.
I just can't use it. Honestly, it's difficult. At least they're gonna lose um, some of the older population that doesn't have good sight. Like I can't find half of the things on it. So here, they're not really growing. 2020 was a pretty good year. They're not really growing. Of course, they have massive revenues, right? They have so many ecosystems. But now you have to start thinking about like how's this company, what's next for them? Adding all these air tags and stuff, it works for a little bit, but then it doesn't. You need to come up with something, right? And I just don't think, in the AI space, they're actually very, 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 very behind. And for a company that has so much data, either they're hiding something amazing or they really suck. If they really suck, then a lot of companies that are going up right now, why are they going up? Well, let's talk about the companies that are not going up. Companies that have the software, let's talk about CRM. Any company that solely has software operating system, look at this. I mean, this is massive sell-offs, guys, on SaaS. If you're not producing new hardware and your software and your UI sucks and you have no AI, would you invest in a company like that? If somebody tells you our hardware changes every year, we make longer and we make it wider and we made it lighter, and every year we're going to release shittier and shittier software, would you be interested?
Nah.
Can I jailbreak
just-
it?
Yeah, good one. But what you can expect, and talking about jailbreaking, you can expect a lot of these, AI shops for development, Gemini, like Cloud, like Anthropic, and all those. You're gonna find a lot of these smart developers, and I don't know if there's any in the call, that they're gonna go down this path of eventually being able to build some pretty badass software, like SaaS software, for moms and pop shops. Maybe a couple of those guys get together and are able to build, really enterprise software, for instance, like Salesforce, at a fraction of a price what Salesforce is asking. For a company like Salesforce that hasn't started AI from the ground up, it's really, really hard now to add AI layers in it. I think it's possible, but if you're not starting from scratch, these SaaS companies are playing catch up. And I don't think they're going to be, caught up as fast as AI is going to move. I think within 2 years, honestly, AI is going to have some significant progress in development and people building applications, software, OS. It's going to get wild. And if you're solely relying on hardware, Apple's done. CRM is just, I think it's cooked. Like, I just don't see what they're. Workday is done. There's more. What was that? ServiceNow. Look at this. %50. I think this is gonna get uglier, right? Some of those big boys. How's Tesla? Check. Oh, they recovered. They held for 14. I think something's brewing with Tesla. One of my friends I don't know if you have any info on this, or you can talk to some of your people. If you have anyone that has any connections at PayPal C-suite, it'd be good to just kind of chat, like, hey, how's it going? What kind of strategic programs are you guys working on? I think that I'm hearing rumors that they're building data center. Have you heard that, Tom?
Sorry, what was that?
PayPal is starting to build data centers.
Oh, everybody is, right?
Yeah, but they're saying that this is going to be massive scale. And
I didn't read
I'll
anything
send,
about it. No.
I'll send you guys a link about who, people that run PayPal who founded them, and some videos from 2018. And believe it or not, Greenland is tied to it. Those people talked about Greenland in 2018 and how it would be a good spot for data centers. And some of these people are really, really associated with PayPal. And then one of my friends talked about it, and I'm like, let me research it a little bit. And yeah.
Yeah, if you could send it over, that'd be cool. Thanks.
Say it again.
If you could send it over, it'd be great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Just some unusual stuff going on here.
I saw a video of Benjamin Netanyahu talking about that,
About what?
taking over Greenland in 2018.
I think he's gonna try to take over everything, honestly. Use America as the driver. Hey, go here like a dog. Go here. Take this. Threaten this. Send them over here until we stop. But yeah, I don't know. I like diplomacy more than wars. So, can't figure it out. That's not good. All right. Well, thank you guys. I will see you tomorrow. I'll hop on. I won't take any trades overnight tonight. I've been getting a little bit lucky 2-3 days now with some overnight trades and early trades, but this was a pretty good short here. If we lose this level right here overnight, I'm not going to put an order in. If you lose this 45, 46 area, there's a high chance for a short that's going to drive us all the way to 25. Double distribution profile right now. They would be accepting prices all the way somewhere up here. I wouldn't be surprised if they slice it here. Ultimately, you're watching for a long here, loss here, short here, drive. And from here, you're looking to get a long right here. You would have to play it like this. This would be pretty good. Maybe a good spot to trim. You could even maybe go on the bottom of this PSC. That'd be 3.5. So probably a good ratio to take here. All right. Well, see you guys. I'll trade with you guys live. I don't have any trades placed, so I'll be on.
That's good. Thank you, man.
Thank you.